Good morning, students. Today let us solve one numerical problem and then we will discuss what is rolling friction. The problem is like this. What is the acceleration of the block kept on the table surface? You see, this is the block which is kept on the table surface. If the coefficient of kinetic friction between the block surface and the table surface is 0.04. Coefficient of kinetic friction between the block surface and the table surface in contact, that coefficient of kinetic friction is 0.04. Then if this block is connected to this small block of 3 kg with the help of an inextensible string, with the help of a pulley, and the pulley also a very smooth frictionless pulley. So if this is connected with the help of 3 kg load and this 3 kg load which is suspended, due to its own weight, this will be capable of pulling this block. So when the block is set into motion, we know that the parallel component of force which opposes the relative motion between the two surfaces in contact, kinetic friction, comes into play. So if that is the case, if the coefficient of kinetic friction between the two surfaces is 0.04, you are asked to find out what is the acceleration of the block when it moves in this direction. When the block pulls down, this heavy block moves towards the right side. What is the acceleration? This is the question. So here the string is inextensible and mass of the string is neglected. It is very thin and it is having almost negligible mass, and the pulley is also frictionless pulley, that is very smooth one. So if this is pulling it down, then how to calculate acceleration of the block? So we need to consider the forces acting on the block and the forces acting on this suspended block. There are two blocks. One is a heavy block of 20 kg mass kept on the table surface. Another one is a light block of 3 kg mass suspended. This is 3 kg load suspended with the help of a pulley with the same string. Okay, this is pulling down and this block moves in the forward direction. So what are the forces acting on this block? Look at this. As a result of pull, there will be a tension in the string. The force acting along the length of the string is called as tension. This tension is towards the pulley, and this is the direction of tension. And here, as a result of motion, kinetic friction acts in the opposite direction. Kinetic friction opposes the motion, relative motion between the two surfaces. Therefore, it is acting in the opposite direction. So if we consider this block as a point body, see on this point body, tension is acting in this direction and force of friction is acting in the opposite direction. The net force is in the forward direction. So tension must be greater than kinetic friction. Then only the block moves in the forward direction. This is one. Second thing is, when this load is pulling down, weight of this 3 kg, this is of 3 kg mass. Weight of this 3 kg load is 30 Newton. Yes, ask us to take G equal to 10 meter per second square. So M into G. So it gives us 30 Newton of weight acting vertically downwards. So here if you draw a free body diagram, this is called as free body diagram. Consider this block as a point mass of 3 kg. This is applied with the weight vertically downwards, 30 Newton, and you see the tension will be towards the pulley. Tension in the string will be acting towards the pulley. So this tension is of small magnitude and this weight is of larger magnitude. So vertically it is acting downwards. So net acceleration is downwards here, and this is also downwards. Since it is connected by an inextensible string and a massless string and a very smooth pulley, whatever the acceleration of the block takes place, same will be the acceleration of this load. So it is a connected mass problem. In such connected mass problem, the acceleration of this block is the same as the acceleration of the suspended load. So now we can apply Newton's second law. First we will apply Newton's second law to this suspended block. Applying Newton's second law to the suspended load. Suspended load, this one. So 30 kg weight must be greater than the tension. So I will write weight 30 Newton minus tension. You see, 30 Newton must be greater than tension, so that net acceleration will be downwards. Net force will be downwards. 30 Newton. So I will write directly 30. Better. 30 Newton minus tension. T must be equal to mass of this block. Mass of the block is 3 and acceleration of the block is A. I think you got the point here. How I have written Newton's second law. Net force acting on this body is W minus T equal to M into A. W minus T equal to M into A. Using this, W is 30, T is the tension, and M is mass of the block, that is 3 kg, into A, where A is the acceleration of this block as well as this load. So this becomes equation number 1. Okay, you can call this equation number 1. Similarly, applying Newton's second law to the block on the table surface. Applying Newton's second law to the heavy block on the surface, heavy block on the surface. You see here, the tension in the string must be greater than the force of kinetic friction. So T minus Fk must be equal to mass of the block into acceleration. So that gives us the net force. Mass of the block is 20 kg into acceleration A. So the equation which I have applied here is T minus Fk is equal to, if you take this mass as capital M and acceleration as A, then this is the equation. So T minus Fk is equal to mass of this block is 20 kg, mass into acceleration. That becomes the net force. So call this equation number 2. Now what is Fk? Fk, kinetic friction, we know from the law of kinetic friction, Fk is equal to mu k into N. And we know what is N. N is the weight. N is the normal force which is exactly equal to weight of the body. Here, mu k is given 0.04 and N is equal to capital M into G. Capital M is 20 kg and G is 10. So it becomes 200 Newton. So this is normal force. So substitute this in this equation. So it becomes 0.04 into 200 Newton. So two zeros cancel. So it becomes 8 Newton. So Fk, kinetic friction in this equation becomes 8 Newton. Therefore, second equation becomes T minus 8 equal to 20 into 8. Call this equation actually 2. You did not call this one as 2. This can be called as 2. Now from equation 1 and 2, we can solve for acceleration as well as we can solve for tension in the string. That is what is asked here. Calculate the tension in the string. So bring this equation number 1 here. So if you add this 30 minus T equal to 3a. Adding these equations, T gets eliminated. 30 minus 8 becomes 22 equal to 20 plus 3, 23a. So solving it simultaneously, we get the result for acceleration. Thus, A becomes equal to 22 by 3. 22 by 23. So if you actually find out this, it is close to 1, that is 0.96 meter per second square. 0.96 meter per second square. Just substitute this acceleration A in one of these equations. Either you substitute in this or in the above equation. We will get the value of t. Substitute in equation 2. We get t equal to 28 plus 8. Take this t this side, so it becomes plus 8. So 20 into A is 0.96. T plus 8. So 0.96 if you calculate, 1 0 cancels. So you are left with 2 into 9.6. 2 into 9.6 is 19 point. Okay. 2 into 9.6 gives you 19.2. 19.2 plus 8. 19.2 plus 8, it gives us tension T equal to 27.2 Newton. 27.2 Newton. Either you can substitute in equation number 2 or in equation number 1, you will get the same result. This is how we need to calculate whenever there is a connected mass problem. This is called as connected mass problem, and we are using the Newton's second law as well as the law of kinetic friction to solve the equations for calculation of acceleration as well as calculation of tension. Next, we will discuss about rolling friction. Okay, let us discuss about another interesting friction, that is called rolling friction. Consider a ring. Or a sphere on a horizontal surface, on a plane surface. When the ring is rolled, see here, practically there is only one point that is coming in contact. When the ring rolls in this fashion, next moment this ring will be here. At that moment, this point which is in contact previously will not be there in contact with the surface. Next points are coming in the contact. So rolling friction is a little different from static friction and kinetic friction. If it is a ring or even a sphere, only a point is in contact with the surface on which it is rolling. Rolling without slipping, please understand. Rolling without slipping. So if the surface is very smooth enough, then rolling doesn't take place. There must be some grip on the surface. Then only rolling takes place. So when the rolling takes place without slipping, only one point is in contact. When rolling of a ring or a sphere takes place on a surface, only one point is in contact momentarily, that too momentarily. Next moment, next point is in contact. Therefore, we can say that the friction which comes into play when the body is rolling is minimum compared to the static friction and the kinetic friction. So, rolling friction is the friction that comes into play whenever there is a rolling of bodies like ring or spheres or cylinder or wheels. So when the rolling of wheels take place, rolling of ring, sphere or cylinder take place, practically speaking, only single point in case of ring or sphere, only single point is in contact momentarily. If it is a cylindrical body, the contour of that single points, if you draw that, only one single line is in contact with the surface. Therefore, the rolling friction is going to be minimum in case of bodies which are capable of rolling. Now, practically speaking, when you consider any vehicle like a bus or a truck or even any four-wheeler or two-wheeler, when you practically consider, some finite area of the tire comes in contact with the road surface. It is not a single point. Because of the weight of the body, some finite area of the tire comes in contact with the surface, road surface. As a result, there is some finite amount of friction which opposes the rolling motion. So this friction, which is again a parallel component of force, which opposes the rolling motion of a wheel or any rolling object, is called as rolling friction. So the direction of this rolling friction will be tangential. If you draw a tangential direction here, so this becomes direction of Fr, where R is the notation for rolling. So it is tangent drawn at this point, which gives us direction of Fr. So when actually a wheel or heavy object, rolling body is in contact with the surface, due to its weight, some deformation of the wheel with respect to the surface take place. You must have observed when the truck is on the road, some amount of flattening of the tire takes place due to its whole weight. Because of the flattening of the tire at the bottom in contact with the road surface, there exists some friction. That friction is called as rolling friction. I think you got the point. So we can write the meaning of rolling friction. The force, or it is again parallel component of contact force. The parallel component of contact force, the parallel component of contact force which opposes the rolling motion of a wheel or any rolling body, sphere or so, or cylinder, is called rolling friction. So if you consider static friction, kinetic friction and rolling friction is going to be very, very minimum compared to those two. So the reason is only finite area is coming in contact. So rolling friction is minimum compared to static friction and kinetic friction. That's why wheels play a very important role in our day-to-day life, in our daily life. Imagine if wheels would have not been designed, if wheels would have not been thought of, how difficult it would be to carry the luggages, to move the bodies from one place to another place. It would be very, very difficult. Sliding of a body involves lot of amount of kinetic friction. So rolling minimizes rolling of a body minimizes the friction. So always the wheel is considered to be a very important discovery in the milestone of the human life. In the milestone of, it is considered to be a very important milestone in the life of human beings. Otherwise it would be very difficult to imagine the carrying of the loads on the road surfaces without wheels. It would be very difficult task. Okay, so this is all about rolling friction. Now we shall discuss about how the friction in our day-to-day life is going to be. Friction is a necessary evil also. Friction is evil, we know. For most of the movable parts in a machinery, for example, if you consider a machinery will be having so many movable parts in contact with each other. So as a result of these movable parts in contact with each other, there will be a lot of amount of kinetic friction among themselves. As a result, it leads to maximum wear and tear. So in such cases, friction is to be reduced. So what are the ways to reduce friction? Methods to minimize friction. You all know that while playing carom board, you will put boric powder, which is a very fine powder, very smooth powder. It makes the entire board surface very smooth. If you do not put the boric powder, the entire surface will be having cracks, and the movement of the carom coins on the table surface becomes very difficult. In the sense, the coins do not move as we wish. So before we play the carom board, we put that fine powder. So powdering is one of the ways of reducing the friction. Powdering with a smooth boric acid powder. Another way is lubrication. This is also called as lubrication. Use of lubricating oils, or in general we can call it as lubrication. Whenever you consider the machinery parts which are in contact with each other, when the machinery parts are in motion, then there will be a lot of amount of kinetic friction, which leads to lot of dissipation of power. So more amount of power is to be utilized to overcome that friction. So in such cases, lubricating oils are used to reduce that kinetic friction. So lubrication is one method to reduce the kinetic friction. What is the another way? Can you just think what is the another way of reducing the friction? Lubricating. Another one is using the fine powder to fill up the cracks, so that the once the cracks are filled up, the movement of the coins become very smooth. Second one is use of ball bearings. Use of ball bearings in the movable parts. For example, you must have seen ball bearing system. These are the two rings which are moving in opposite direction. So these are connected with ball bearings, spherical balls. And these spherical balls, for their smooth motion, will be filled with grease. So lubrication is that process, use of grease for the smooth motion of these steel balls. These are the steel balls. And if, for example, this outer ring is moving in the anti-clockwise direction. If the outer ring is moving in the anti-clockwise sense, the inner ring will be moving in the clockwise sense. How is it? You can just see. Due to the motion of outer ring, this contacts of these steel spheres with the outer ring tend to move them inwards. When they tend to move inwards, you see this movement of these steel balls you can see here, it will lead to movement of this inner ring in the clockwise sense. This is how very smooth movement of the rings take place. So ball bearing system is also a usual system to reduce the friction between the two bodies which are in contact, which are movable parts. So these are certain methods to reduce the friction. Use of powdering, fine powder, lubrication oil or lubricating oil for the movable parts which are in contact, that can reduce the kinetic friction, and use of ball bearing system which will reduce the friction, kinetic friction. Now, friction is also necessary. You all know that without friction I will not be able to write on the board. For writing on the board, for writing on your page, friction is required. For example, if you think that the page is oiled, you apply the oil on the page and try to write, the pen doesn't write at all, it will just slip. It's quite good experience for all of you. Those who are sitting in the last bench, they used to sit with their head on the blackboard. On that part, you see, it would be totally oiled. You could see oiled region on this blackboard. When you were in 10th standard, you must have done this. The lower part of the board was totally oiled. If you want to write something there, it would be very difficult. The chalk will just slip. So for writing on the board or writing on the notebook page, it's very difficult if it is oiled. So some friction is required. So static friction and kinetic frictions are required. Even for walking on the floor, we need friction. If the floor is totally slippery, we will not be able to walk on the floor. So floor should have some friction. If it is totally clean and totally oiled, made it very smooth, then we will not be able to walk. We will slip and fall. Same thing is with the cars. It's very difficult to drive the car on a totally wet surface. The total wet surface of the road will be very slippery. So there will be a lot of problems of skidding, especially in the rainy season. In the rainy season, if you might have observed, the vehicles will be driven very slowly, carefully. Because even if you apply the brakes, the vehicle do not come to halt at all. The vehicle do not stop at all. The vehicle undergoes sliding. The tire surface of the vehicles undergoes sliding or skidding. That will lead to accidents. So some amount of kinetic friction is required between the road surface and the tire surface. For that purpose, the tire surfaces, if you observe, they will be having proper grips. Tire surfaces are having proper grips to enable the vehicles to have proper kinetic friction. Even for halting a moving body, opposing force is required. When the body is set into sliding motion, after some time it stops because of kinetic friction. So applying brakes is nothing but again another kind of sliding friction, kinetic friction, that will bring the moving vehicles to a halt. So this is how we know that even friction, we know that friction leads to a lot of losses. So much of losses whenever machinery parts are involved or whenever the ball bearings, for example, if ball bearings, one of the ball bearings is broken, then the movement of these interconnected rings will not be possible. Immediately you have to replace these balls, and again it should be filled with grease to have proper lubrication, proper movement. So we know that friction leads to a lot of losses, but friction is also necessary for riding, for walking, for driving our vehicles. The road surfaces and the tire surfaces which are in contact should have a proper grip. There should be a proper force of opposition for the rolling bodies. So this is what we learn it as the parallel component of opposing force, the parallel component of contact force which opposes the rolling motion in the opposite direction, which opposes the rolling motion, is called as rolling friction. So I think this is enough as far as the discussion on the friction is concerned. So there are three types of friction: static friction, kinetic friction and rolling friction. Okay, we will discuss the next important thing in the next video, that is banking of roads. Thank you. Have a nice day.